I've been mixing music for over 20 years and I've experimented with just about everything to get vocals right. Dynamic EQs, resonance suppressors like Soothe 2, 1 compressor, 2 compressor, sometimes even 3 compressors. And while every vocal needs specific attention, sometimes those tools can do more harm than good. In today's video, I'm going to show you 4 simple moves that will constantly make your vocals sound 90% better on any mix. If you're new here, I'm Matty Harris, a mixing and mastering engineer based in Los Angeles. I've worked with artists including Kelly Clarkson, Sammy Adams, and Travis Barker. Through my site, mixandmastermysong.com, I help independent artists make their music sound professional so it can stand out among the hundreds of thousands of songs released on streaming platforms every day. Let's dive in. All right, so first of all, we're only going to need 2 plugins to do this. Well, we'll use 3, but I'll show you the third one at the end. But the first one is just a basic EQ. I'm using the FabFilter Pro Q4, and then the second one is run-of-the-mill 1176 style compressor. I'll be using the Wave CLA 76, but you could use a UAD one. There are a million 1176 compressors out there, so pick your poison. Now, it's important the way we have this set up. We always want to EQ into the compressor for vocals, at least in my opinion. And the reason I like to do this is that way you're feeding the compressor the right information. For instance, let's say you have a vocal recording that has a bunch of rumbling from the room or, air conditioner going on. That's going to hit the compressor probably more than the actual vocal take, or can negatively affect it. And so now your compressor is compressing a low end that has nothing to do with the vocal, because you're EQing after the compressor. Another reason is if there's some crazy resonances in there that you need to notch out with your EQ, that might hit the compressor if it's not done beforehand. So I always like to EQ into the compressor, and then you're just feeding the compressor all the good stuff and it will compress it accordingly. So for now, let's leave this compressor how it is, and let's take a listen to the song and just hear what we got. This is a song by Red Moon called Bad Days, and we'll just hear the vocal so you guys can hear what we're working with.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck alone. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her.
Okay, so you can hear there's a little bit of like proximity effect going on. The vocals sounds great performance, but it's just kind of like there, and the dynamics are fluctuating a bit, and it's not really pushing us in the face like you want, a rock or pop type vocal to hit you. So first, let's deal with the EQ. We're going to pull this EQ up, and this one everyone knows. Put a little low cut on there so you get rid of any rumbling. That's, EQ 101. But here's the key. We're going to put a low shelf on. And instead of notching out all the low end, which were, 500 or 200, where all the proximity effect stuff might be, we're just going to roll a filter on, and you'll hear how it just cleans it up. And it's much less intrusive than all these dynamic compressors going on. The other benefit to this is you won't have to boost as much high end when you're trying to get more presence or air out of the vocal. So here's another really important part. When we do this, we do not do it in solo. If you're EQing a vocal in solo, it has nothing to do with what the rest of the song is doing. And that's the most important part about mixing, is how everything's interacting with each other. So don't do this in solo. And we're going to listen and get rid of some of that low end proximity effect, as well as that mud that we don't want in our vocal.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck alone. Shoulders if you love her. Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck alone. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know.
So that sounds pretty good to me, and this vocal doesn't need a lot. Now, don't be afraid to push this. Just because here we're only doing a couple dB at 700 hertz, on some vocals, you can go down to 6 dB sometimes, or even lower. Use your ears and just get it till you don't feel like that low end mud is affecting the vocal. Now, you may also notice that I feel like we've lost a little bit of energy from this, but in our next step, the compressor is going to bring that back. So now we're going to pull up our compressor. This new Waves version has auto makeup, which is kind of nice for 1176. So we'll turn that on, even though it's not completely exact, it's pretty close. And for this kind of song, I want a good amount of compression. So we're going to try to hit this thing 5 to 10 dB of reduction and really get that vocal to pop out. And you'll even see in these spots, it's louder here and then softer here and then louder. That will pull those dynamics together so the whole vocal comes forward for us.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. Bad day.
All right, so that sounds pretty good. We're getting 5 to 10 dB gain reduction. We moved the release up a little bit with 1176. That's already pretty fast, but that just helped it move a little bit better in the groove. Now let's just take a listen. If I hit this insert button, it's gonna bypass both plugins, and you'll hear just those two moves we've done have made such a huge difference.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love.
It's clearer because we got rid of some of the proximity effect and the low end mud, and then we have the compressor pushing it forward now. The next step is just to add some presence. Let's get some of that beautiful brightness of his voice out there, which will also help make it cut through the full mix. And this, another really simple move. Let's just use a bell. Now you can use a bell or a shelf here. Either one will work, but let's start with a bell and see what it does.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love.
So what we'll do is let's switch to a shelf here because I feel like we need a little bit of the 4000 K, but I also want to give us some more air as well. So we're going to use this shelf and just give it one of those.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. Bad day, not a bad life.
And just like that. So now let's take a listen before and after.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love.
3 moves and we're already sounding a whole lot better than we had before. And I can guarantee you, and I'm guilty of it too, there's been many of times where I've had 7 plugins on my vocal chain and I bypass it and it sounds better without those plugins. So keep things simple sometimes. Now, the last tip, with us boosting this, we've ended up getting some S's. So all we're gonna do is add a de-esser to just catch some of those S's. Use a real simple one, the FabFilter Pro DS. Now here's one little side tip. If you have a vocal that is really essy, take this and put it at the beginning of the chain. That kind of comes back to the whole part of don't make the compressor work too hard. You can get some of those S's to cut down before you go through your chain and then put another one at the end to catch the ones that might have gotten exaggerated from giving it some more brightness and air. But in this case, he's not that essy, so we're just going to use it like this.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you...
That should work pretty well. And so with a de-esser, try not to get more than 4 dB of gain reduction. It's going to start sounding lispy, if you know what I mean, and can also, just like a lot of those like dynamic suppressors like Soothe 2, just kill all the energy of the vocal. The more like dynamic things that are happening, a lot of times the more the energy and the vibe will be taken away. All right, so we have these 3 plugins Let's take a final listen with all of them off and then with all of them on.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love.
Sounds 90% better. We have cleaned up some of the mud. It's sounding more present. It's up in our face. We can hear every word he's saying. Such an improvement. Okay, so that is the video. Hopefully it was helpful. One final note, with the compressor, if you're doing something that's a little more organic, for instance, like a guitar and a vocal, just a singer-songwriter type thing, where you want it to be a little more intimate and not like this, in-your-face pop vocal, then you can lessen the compressor and maybe just do a dB, like 2 or 3 dB of gain reduction, just to catch the peaks a bit, but also keep the dynamic. So the compressor can be one of the main things to change around depending on what style of music you're working on. Let me know if you got any questions in the comments below, and if you need your songs mixed or mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. Talk to you guys soon.